Good morning and welcome to Fresh. Today we are in Goshen off of North Main Street at the Olympia Candy Kitchen, and with me is Kathy Anderson, the third generation owner here. How are you today?
I'm fine, thanks.
It is great to be here, and we've been talking with you, and there's just so much history here. So let's go ahead and tell the viewers, how did Olympia Candy Kitchen become a place to eat here in Goshen?
Well, it started in 1912, and a Greek immigrant, actually, named John Husmus, started the store, and it was called the Olympia Candy Kitchen. And my grandfather came to the United States, went through Ellis Island and jumped plane and went around the United States and jumped off here and started to work here at the Olympia, where he met my grandmother. And they got married. Then they purchased the store from Mr. Husmus and changed the name to Olympia for his Greek background.
It's wonderful here, and the history is just amazing to me when you were talking to us, and it's so interesting, and we could go on probably the whole show and talk about that. But what makes the Olympia Candy Kitchen so unique, and I don't know if people really understand this, is that there's family recipes involved with the candy and the food that's made here, and that's why it's so special and so delicious, right?
Right, right.
You make your homemade mayonnaise, and behind us we have your famous pork and olive sandwich, and you do all your pork tenderloins here and all that. Go ahead and talk to us about the unique items that you have on the menu.
Well, like the pork and olive, we roast our own pork here. The nut olive sandwich is made with olives and cashews, and we get the cashews in raw, and we roast them, salt them, so they're always very, very fresh. And they make a great sandwich. It's really, we make our own mayonnaise, so it's, the toaster that we have is very old, and it's comparable maybe to a panini.
Yummy. Sounds good. Well, we were talking, you have all these homemade things, and I got a little sneak peek tour in the back, and you make your own candy here. It's authentic, and right now it's the fall season, so you've got candy apples and all kinds of good stuff, and the chocolate's all homemade here. Tell us a little bit about that.
Gosh, the chocolates we make back in the kitchen are made in a copper kettle, an old-fashioned copper kettle, and then we make our own creams. We make the caramel that goes into the pecans. That's caramels and pecans for turtles, and that was my grandfather's recipe.
All authentic.
So, yeah, it's all authentic.
We were just talking, some people came in for a 50th class reunion, and they were just loving the caramel. They hadn't been back here in 40 years, and that's what they remember is that caramel. Yeah. It's tasting delicious. Well, so many neat things here, and I must say, my first time here was just a couple months ago, and I came with my aunt who has grown up here in Goshen, and she just remembers this. She doesn't live here anymore. It's just so authentic to her, and I'm sure many others in the community. And I had my first chocolate soda here, and we have one behind us, and lots of great drinks. You guys have the Green Rivers and the Phosphates and stuff like that. Just very authentic, neat diner-style drinks. What are some of your most popular? Probably the Green River, you'd say?
Green River. Yeah. People really like the Green Rivers. And we have Phosphates, like vanilla, cherry, lime, chocolate. And we make our own chocolate here, even for the chocolate Cokes, chocolate Phosphates, for the chocolate sundaes.
Good stuff. I'm getting hungry, and we've got all this stuff behind us. You've got so many great things on here. And if you haven't been out to the Olympia Candy Kitchen off of North Main in Goshen, I would encourage them to come out here. Now, you probably have some regulars here that come in all the time?
Every day. Every day.
And we were talking earlier, there was a couple here that they had served. They were in the back, and it was the bench that he had proposed to his wife in.
Yes, that happens all the time. People come in and say they met here, or they dated and came here, or they got engaged here. In fact, I think it was one Valentine's Day, there was a man that asked us to put a sign in the case, "Will you marry me?" And he brought his intended up to the case, and she just kind of looked around and didn't really know what to say.
Well, so many neat stories here. It is a landmark in the community, and you guys do all your own candy, and Christmas is just around the corner, and you guys make your own candy canes, which will be made right before Thanksgiving?
Right. The day before Thanksgiving, our family, our whole family gets together, and we make candy canes, ribbon candy, peppermint, cinnamon, wintergreen.
All the goodies. Christmas goodies. Well, make sure to come out here. Kathy, thank you so much for sharing your food and your restaurant with us today and giving us a little sneak peek in the back. If you haven't been out here, again, North Main Street in Goshen, the Olympia Candy Kitchen. We'll be back after a short break, so stay tuned.